Hey guys, we are back from our little break we had there, but it's been a pretty one-sided night of HGC Korea. My name is Wolf, with me as GLuck as always. I kind of point at you a little bit, I was like, whoa, with GLuck over here. We've had two series pretty one-sided. This one looks to be closed out fairly soon unless GLuck can make this early game comp work in Game 3 or change up play a little bit more standard. They chose the map. Braxis holdout had a strategy with the Zagara, old Chinese style. We saw Duck use it with Tempest actually in the past. Kind of funny as it is, but if they want to try this again, I don't know where they're going to take us. Spider Queen maybe, but I think it's maybe time to try to go back to something a little bit more standard.
Yep. The rest of the map is kind of standard, and both guys banned from Ballistix, so I don't think maybe they ran out of ideas or the card they have planned. This is their last match until the part number 2, so might as well just use everything here as their strategies. Of course, it was great. They had a theme at least, so I like those kind of creative plays coming out from Korea, which is not too often. But it didn't really work out. Game 2 was a lot better because it seemed like it wasn't really GLuck doing their best with the new team comp, but Ballistix having a little bit of trouble trying to punish Jagara. I think they were trying to focus on that a little bit too much. And here comes the battleground for game number 3.
Infernal Shrines, GLuck's
Infernal
pick again.
Shrines. Let's see. What else? What else are we missing? What are some heroes we did not see too often?
I mean, this would be a good Junkrat map pick, but Junkrat is globally banned, disabled.
Or possibly a first Kerrigan from Korea this season?
Maybe.
Used to be the way.
We know that Overlord really likes the Junkrat and has played Kerrigan before. Medivh, I guess, is... I mean, if we're thinking about weird hero picks here...
Ooh, Medivh plus
I mean,
Cho'Gao
you were thinking about,
plus Ariel.
You were thinking about maybe Medivh coming in as the pick for the last hero for Braxis, and I thought it would have made some sense. I think Zagara was still the better pick, especially given the matchup versus Malthael.
Yes.
But, obviously, Ballistix was like, yeah, well, I'm not going to give you that matchup. I'm just going to lane swap you. Let's see if GLuck wants to go back to something a little bit less unusual, shall we say. They've been blocked out from using Relic's Tracer all series long, 3 for 3 now. And they have not been able to use ETC either. In fact, they banned it themselves after picking Garrosh in Game 2. Maybe try to just simply pick up the ETC early here. And I was thinking they were going to maybe try to take the Hans away from Ballistix. The problem is that this simply can't do that if you don't ban him here, because the Ballistix will likely first pick it given SC's proficiency on the hero. So you have to ban it. So that's why we see the Relic target ban on the Tracer. The Hanzo comes out. We saw Blaze in Game 1. Game 2 was Greymane. I think it's more likely to go to the Greymane path again here.
Unless they're thinking of that Genji once again, which is still very possible. Just like in Game 1, if you can provide some zoning, or SC actually creates his own zone from the side or from the back line and do some harassments, aggro's out, and take some skill out at least, and makes that timing for his teammates to engage, which is so much easier for the tanks, or like Hooligan or the solo lane, to go in. That's why SC play. Not that he's doing the most damage from the beginning of the team fight, but he's making it easier for the entire team by taking that aggro with Genji.
Yeah. Well, holding it in for a while. Malfurion, not the Uther Genji if that was the plan originally, not going to be the case anymore. So Malfurion locked in, and this is just a strong pick in general. They ran Malfurion in Game 2, was obviously picked first rotation in Game 1 away from them. So GLuck, they've really prioritized their solo lane a lot. Zagara was last picked, but they wanted to win the lane hard with that, to do a kind of a cheesy pushing early game strategy on Game 2 and Game 1. They took Malthael in the early rotation, so let's see if they want to do that again here. We'll see if Kerrigan ends up being the solo laner, if your prediction of weird picks comes true. They finally put the ETC into the map. That's by far, I think, one of their biggest assets throughout this tournament has been Milky Way's ETC, and they just have not shown it to us today until now. So I like that.
I'm gonna take that Blaze away. ETC Blaze pair has been a winning equation for Korea. Big time tonight. I think that's gonna continue tomorrow, and it's gonna be the last day. Blaze, what do you pair up with when you have Sustain with Malfurion already? If you're looking for that Shrine fight, you want to have the Sustain
I
damage.
think you just get Greymane, you know, like, I'm not just saying because that's what got locked in, but like, you have a soul laner healer, and you're looking for something to clear the Shrine with. You grab Greymane because it's the most consistent damage, would likely to be banned in the next phase if you didn't. GLuck's hover on a Nubrak here is just based on the fact that it's very disruptive to what they want to do. The problem is that even though they banned the Nubrak, like, we can use Uther now. Ballistix just banned Uther, so pretty unlikely that they're going to get it. If, for whatever reason, Ballistix predicts something else, GLuck's going to be very happy because Uther is the greatest pick for GLuck right now, bar none. Power Genji, power ETC.
Exactly.
Like, the Nubrak ban is just saying, like, okay, well, maybe they're thinking we're doing something else. No, they're not. They're not.
Also, just to remove that crazy amount of CC they're going to have along with Malfurion and Blaze. It's always a solid choice. Also can trap the support they're going to do regardless. Maybe a Stukov or anything close to
another
Uther.
commitment. Yep, there's a Stukov. Another close, you know, priority towards winning the solo lane rather than global control. It's again the Malthael, Zagara, and then Malthael for all 3 games. And the Stukov pick will somewhat match, as you were saying, the healing of Malfurion. So allows for longer team fights. There's some burst element to what you can do with it too to help protect Malthael and Genji. You can actually prep the heals and then use bio kill switch when the fight happens. Doesn't work like a sound barrier or a sank, but you know, you can get this large area burst heal if you play it correctly and everyone's grouped up enough. For Ballistix, they're obviously looking for now a main tank and a secondary damage. Strong hero for damage in this case would, and could also disrupt a lot of what GLuck is doing, is Gul'dan. Li Ming is also an option. But I think Tychus is the safest pick. We'll probably see a safe Tychus pick in like maybe an ETC. Or sorry, a Muradin. Garrosh would be their choice instead.
Still pretty good because against Kel'Thuzad, the different KT coming into play.
Okay.
Their 5th pick has been surprising for all games now. So first Zarya and then Zagara now. The KT here.
Well, this is going to be a very different style, a very different comp for GLuck because Kel'Thuzad is incredible on the shrines. So is Stukov. And he's good in a 4-man rotation if you can play safely. His ability to gain stacks early is basically all he is. He has to get stacks very quickly. He has to get them early, and if he can get them and then go to the mid game with those stacks, so he has the cooldown reduction, he has that extra damage that he can put on from just throwing his spells out repeatedly. There's a way that this comp works in longer team fights, and it's a more late game focused comp for the first time in this series. As nobody fixed Kel'Thuzad's portrait yet, man. He's still a little bit squished in there. Have you seen Alex Strasza? Oh my god. Like, well, nobody really picks those heroes. I'm like, well, I can see why. His portrait's a little bit squished in there.
Still fine. Still a great hero to poke. If you get those combos off of the front line or the back line even, the chains, you will melt those back line. Even Malfurion Tychus will be having a hard time against all those skill shots.
Look at how Hooligan positions himself to make sure the chain does not connect.
Not that one.
The Hooligan is just basically trying to set that up. He's like, yeah, chain me. Oh, I'm not going to get it near anybody. So, I'm not going to get any extra stacks from that, but this is kind of a interesting comp. Like, it reminds me of when people started playing Greymane. When I remember the first time Greymane was locked in on this map when no one was picking him, and everyone said he was really weak in Korea. I was like, no, he's really good for this map. He can clear the shrine very quickly, and he's safe playing. He pokes a lot.
And then the day after Greymane was banned.
Yeah.
And since that moment, Greymane was banned all the time.
Saron gets picked in the top lane. He's had a bad day. Did not know that Blaze was there, and now they're forcing Relic to go top.
It's not the first time. That's going to be the game start.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a frustrating day for him. Clearly he's had, you know, an emotional day based on the camera shots we've had today. He's been frustrated with how this series has gone thus far, especially after game 1 with the comp that was supposed to be indestructible in the early game. They were totally thwarted. So now they, force Relic, so that pressure's gone to go top. Then they lose the bottom neutral camp.
Exactly.
It's been rough, but remember, this comp is not supposed to be as strong as early as the other comps they've run, so this is not the end of the world. Just feels frustrating right now.
Very frustrating because they were supposed to, and they would have liked to gank from the beginning. They throw the Stukov, made Serpent, does not survive power supply, comes a second too late.
Yeah, only loss here for Ballistix is the camp. Very close to taking it, but they take a level lead. I think they'll be pretty happy with that, given that they've already done a lot of damage to the bottom wall with the camp they stole. Okay, that one hit max range there. So, Ballistix is now just simply going to try to take their camps to be ready for the shrine. The top camp they might want to take early because it's going to be top shrine. Obviously, the first shrine's always top. And then take that, parlay that advantage into controlling the shrine, like being physically present on it first, because that is the strength of GLuck. If they control the shrine with Kel'Thuzad and ETC and Stukov as well, it could give a lot of healing. It's going to be tough to wrest control away with the comp that Ballistix has. So they don't actually take the camp. Just wanted to get that extra bot soak. They're a whole level and a half ahead. They're going to take the camp right before the shrine, which means they're going to give the shrine control away.
Or they would like to push along with the camp, maybe, and then take the shrine away right after.
Definitely a possibility. That must be what they're thinking with this.
Because usually you want to time it away from the shrine and make that push available from the side.
And with Kel'Thuzad and ETC already showing themselves mid, Ballistix is just simply going to know that the other camp isn't taken, so they have that camp advantage. But let's see how easily GLuck is able to wrest control of this from Ballistix because of the comp they have. Ballistix is trying to fight their way in. Uh-oh, this could be bad. Okay, Relic does get away just barely, does not get rooted there.
Usually you do not take Master Assassin, even if you get the stack, usually not against the Genji, but this time, as he's confident that he's going to live for so long and get those kills.
Yeah. Okay, again, rolling in here is Ballistix, trying to get control of this position. Great stun coming through from Milky Way, but there's just not enough damage through. With Relic back here, he's going to dash through, but he's putting himself in harm's way. He's being focused down. Good avoid here from Relic, though, and now this fight is turning. Good silence, too, and they've got this sustained healing coming through from Blue Beetle. Look at all the heals coming through now. And Saron gets connected. They can just kill switch it. Boom, everyone's healed up. They've got a 5v4 fight in their hands. Kel'Thuzad has got good sustained damage. They've got all this healing. And this is why I think even though Ballistix took the camp early, and it was, a reasonable idea, I think the more realistic option in order to control the objective would have been to skip the camp, get into position on top of it, because now GLuck gets this, wins the team fight, and, are going to be able to catch up in experience as a result.
Well, Hooligan's making lots of mistakes. They were gathered up, of course, but
Speaking of Hooligan,
an SDE into the fight where he had a great position to do the damage from the side. That was, I think that's what costed them the team fight. They could have at least delayed it from coming out, or SDE could have survived that easily out of there.
GLuck is now catching up in experience, looking for a pick here with the with the Punisher's help. Oh, they might have stayed too long though. Jungha looking for a flank stun. They're just going to go for the safer pick here onto Milky Way. Hooligan is on the chase, got so much armor. Relic is just scratching him right now. Blue Beetle doesn't have his heal, just started it right now. Kill switches himself back to survivability. Ballistix remains ahead, partially due to, that pick, but Malthill's pushing, or not pushing, but soaking bot's gonna look for a camp takedown there. So
they lost the ETC, but still, they were working on the other side and getting the camp. I think it's gonna help a lot more, reaching for that level 10 mark very soon. It's gonna be about the same time. Ballistix still has the lead, of course, but with that Punisher, the fort got some damage onto the fort, the top one, and if you get that push, and they also have their own camp on the top, I think that's the exact timing that they will be looking for that level 10 push.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of bullying going on by GLuck right now. Really like it. Just using the pressure of that neutral camp that Saron stole. They're really looking to find a pick, but pre-10. While soaking quite a bit. Ballistix obviously has Jungha in the top lane to make sure they get that 10 first, and they will. I love how aggressive, I mean, Hooligan, sure, he has made a few mistakes today, but...
Stacks are coming in, but there's a CC. The positioning of KTZ is
not good. Hooligan
here.
body blocks him there. I was going to say before Hooligan got a pick here and helped win this fight and get 10 first, I was going to say that despite his overextension that one time, I feel he's playing Garrosh to its full potential, to its full limits, with how he walks in, how aggressive he is, knowing that he has Magi's heals to stack up on top of his armor. He is fearless, and that's why he's making moves like this. The follow-up route here, taunt with 10, and that's another kill. And this is snowballing out of control away from GLuck at the moment.
Ouch. And now they go up, rotate, and Martel getting that top push, and Blaze is already there clearing the way when this board is going down at the bottom. Worst case scenario for GLuck. They're not really making their rotational work anywhere. And they're losing the entire map control plus the wave control.
Yeah. Last rights, by the way.
Okay. Might as well be the X.
I mean, it can help deal with...
you can also
if used correctly, it can help deal with Garrosh, I guess, but... I mean, not really. I don't know. I'm really just trying to grasp the straws here for them.
The double strikes might... Still possibility. Can also provide an escape for himself.
Yeah.
On top of Mosh Pit, it's some extra damage you're going to land on.
Well, next Shrine's up. No 13 for Ballistix, so this is a fight that GLuck can take only one level down. But they need to figure out how they're going to start it, right? Like hold that thought, it's on my throat.
Are you dying again? That's okay. Not gonna die. Wolf survives at the end because they have taunts and lots of tools. Even Twilight Dream, lots of canceling CCs to stop that mosh pit of ETC, and he has been actually getting caught in lots of routes, lots of TCs, and he was the one dying. Milky Way was, and it's gonna be a tough job for him to have multiple man mosh. Here comes the CC from Ballistix first. Odin doing tons of damage with the Twilight Dream. There's the first kill. Coming out, Marthia could not do a thing there last right, not even getting a single kill. They're going to lose their entire positioning 2 levels away now. And it's going to be Relic trying to survive. Odin still popping up so much damage. Hooligan is already onto the chase. Overlord is not going to be providing an escape for himself here, as nothing can happen. Dragon Blade not even out. Kelto's out, could not do too much damage. Of course, it all started with ETC getting caught in that. But he was trying to go in to provide that mosh pit when he was supposed to be the one defending for his teammate. He should be looking for defensive movements instead of going in and making those big plays.
Okay, I can kind of talk now. I don't know. I think I swallowed a bug or something. Not sure what happened there. I lost my train of thought, but
the Junkrat got that bug too. But Ballistix, like, their team fight was insane, right? You missed the big one.
Yeah, I mean, it was really well orchestrated. I was going to say the mosh pit and ETC's positioning could be what starts the fight, but it's been so difficult with how well Hooligan has been positioned. Knows how he stands every time. If ETC tries to slide in, he can, you know, just toss him and take him out of the fight.
Yeah, they already got the Punisher, so it's going to be okay. And there's a big jump, and Kelton's out. May get caught. Not too much damage follow-up, actually. They just want to open this wall, take it slow. They have 3-level lead, entire level. They're not going for the keep. They're going for the kills here. Milky Way, get that mosh pit, but insta-cancel by the Twilight Dream. Even the Punisher is working for them. 3 kills already. This team fight is going nowhere. Throws in a Blaze, and the last one, Overlord, stays for a while. But he may actually survive, but this Punisher going to be a key. Maybe this game, they're going for that end one.
It's an Arcane Punisher, so they're going to try to end. Overlord here just trying to do what damage he can, but it's not going to matter. 4 levels up here with this victory, 13 kills to 1. Team Ballistix is going to take the win and take this series as Milky Way comes back, feebly tries to get whatever he can done, but it's not going to matter. Ballistix will take the series 3-0.
And Wolf survives the end. Amagi still had the ice block until the end. What a dominant one. That last right did not really do too much for the entire team.
Yeah, it was pretty crushing, the victory here, with the lack of, first of all, completing of the quest for Kel'Thuzad. Hooligan's positioning, not allowing Milky Way to CTC to do anything.
And, you know, the Malthael comp didn't have any protection for Tormented Souls. That's why they went Last Rites. But against this comp, like, sure, Last Rites got buffed, but I just don't think it's ever going to be in a place where it's good enough to be, at least not right now in its current iteration, meta. So, Blizzard's just outclassing in terms of rotational play as well. Better team fighting, better experience. I don't know what happened to my voice, guys, but I know I'll be back. I'll be all right. Yeah, maybe. I'll be okay. I know I'll be all right for tomorrow no matter what, but I'm not sure what happened to me.
Well, I can't lose you, Wolf. I need you big time.
Don't worry, I'll be okay.
And that was kind of interesting. That giant Odin going into 1/3 of his size of bunker and then coming out all the time. Quite interesting how things work in Heroes of Storm, but still pretty cool. They were able to win that with a fashionable style in their own way.
Certainly so. Ballistix, they look to be really on form right now. They lost their match to Tempest, so they're going to take second place with this win here. Even if KSV Black is able to take a 3-0, I think Ballistix just is still ahead, obviously. Just that's how math works. So they take the second place seed, and they'll face Tempest a little bit later on in the bracket, going into Eastern Clash. Here's our score. BOE, Braxis, and Infernal Shrines, all three going to Ballistix. GLuck trying to play a little bit unusually tonight with their style, where they're going for very aggressive early game comps with the Zarya, but did not work out in the end. Ballistix playing standard and shutting them down.
Yeah, very unfortunate for GLuck. This was their last match in part 1, but if you go back to week number 1, they were weak. They were weak in rotation. They had lots of things to fix and work on to be from the beginning, and they actually climbed all the way to 5th place. And we imagined them to be maybe at the 6th place at the best, but they were able to climb lots of the stronger teams. They're standing a lot higher than what we expected from the beginning, and they have improved a lot. And it's only the first part of the 2018 season here.
There's a high chance that they could make mid-season brawl. It's not impossible.
It is not impossible, of course.
I mean, I don't even say it's not unlikely, even, because there's a chance that they continue to improve. Like I feel like Blossom has improved a lot throughout 2017, and in the beginning of this season, they've looked strong in certain moments. But I feel like no team is on the path that GLuck is on right now. Like, they're steadily improving, whereas Tempest was like, before the season, they were like this, and then they're still like, still looking like better and better every time. But, GLuck looks to be better basically every match day, and they're more creative today as well.
And then also, if we talk about the other teams, KSV, their expectation was, I guess, way too high in the other shoe, and then they went down since that loss against Tempest, and then they even dropped a few sets. They were losing the early rotation in a few of the games, and I think the problem really comes on, and I'll explain a lot more as we have their match tomorrow. I think it's going to continue on this match. Maybe if they have Maiev in Eastern Clash, maybe later on into the season. I think that's really going to highlight Rich's mechanics, and also why we call Rich one of the best mechanical players. I think that's going to be a strong power for the KSB Black team. Since that when they're having this much of a trouble, I think that's going to be a big factor coming in when they go to their Eastern Clash.
I mean, Black also has that flair of being the best team to play standard, to play meta heroes, and to figure out drafts early. So when Maiev is available, where that puts the Shimada brothers in terms of Maiev bans and things like that, MV Black's drafting is always top notch. They've got Noblesse as their coach. So I really do agree with you, and I think this is going to be a huge potential redemption for them. When they were behind L5 in regular season, they were able to take Eastern Clash last year. So MV Black has bounced back at these Eastern Clashes when they've had some struggles, quote-unquote, in the regular season. So absolutely possible for them to return to form.
Yep, and that's going to be the last best of 2 happening tomorrow. But let's go into the highlight of Ballistix here, as this was a Sergeant Hammer. I think the first Sergeant Hammer, also the first Zagara, and also Lunara coming out from Korea.
Yeah, we had a lot of different heroes coming in today. Oh my god. Resets.
First damage from Genji and Neeming at the same time. Even that shield was not enough to protect their teammates. Oh, this was a hooligan body block moment. Gets the kill, but...
Yeah, he dies for it, though, because the roaches, man, the roaches got him. It was that extra damage to the roaches, man. He miscalculated.
This fight, and you're saying this, they should have been a lot more aggressive in this fight.
Well, I mean, this is a fight that basically they won the boss,
and they do so well. Look at the triple stun there as well coming out from Garage. This is really well played, coming through from GLuck. I feel like this is a fight where I feel like they did super well in terms of control. It was a mistake for Ballistix to try to fight that. The next fight, though, where they started the boss and didn't commit, that's where I wanted them to be more aggressive. We won't see a shot of that. We're going into Game 3. I think this is where my voice died.
Yeah, you choked very hard.
But yeah, I choked.
You choked.
Ballistix did not, man. They just took this and went for the home run all the way in. Look how he gets the mosh, but instantly silenced.
Moggy's on top, and as I mentioned, Moggy, we don't really highlight Moggy too often, as he's the newest member of the team. But here we have the interview.
Yep, it's going to be SDE as the MVP. GLuck, take it away. The translation.
Is this your first interview?
발리스틱스에 워낙에
SDE.
SCSC 선수가 많이 해서
Of course, SCSC did lots of interviews from Ballistix this season.
일단 처음 하게 된 그 소감 좀 말씀해 주세요.
How does it feel to be
사실
the MVP for the first time this season?
다른 때 훨씬 잘했던 것 같은데
I think I played
잘 모르겠고
so much better
승철이가
in the other games, and I don't exactly know why I was not the MVP instead of SCSC.
불단이랑 포스터 더 잘했던
I
적도
think
많은 것 같은데
he
약간 좀
did play well, but I think I played better a few other times. But
생각을 했는데요.
I'm very disappointed.
개인적으로 SCSC보단 내가 더 인터뷰 잘할 것
Are you saying that
같다, 뭐 이런
SCS you're
생각이
better than
그거는
SCSC in the interviews?
다른 팀 모든 사람이 다 그렇게
I
생각하지
think
않을까.
everyone
제가
in
봤을 때는
HGC
SK
Korea
선수도 약간 만만치
has a
않은
good chance of winning
네, 그런
SCSC
느낌이
in
들어요.
doing interview.
네,
I think everyone's better than him.
예, 발리스틱스가 전체적으로 좀 노잼이다 이런
네.
평가를 좀
Well, Ballistix, of course,
경기력도
even back in L5, you guys are called for no
인터뷰도
fun
그런
team,
얘기를
no
많이
jam
했는데
team.
그런 이미지를 좀 SD 선수가 바꿔줘야 되지 않겠습니까?
Are you try?
뭐
Should it be
노잼이든
your job
말든 뭐
to-
게임 이기면 되는 거고요. 그리고
We change that
아무리
image.
노잼이라고
Well, I don't
해도
really care if it's no jam, but
사실
as long
다른
as we
팀도
win
보면
games,
진짜
that's all that
재미없거든요.
matters.
근데
And winning
이런
games
식으로
makes
몰아가시니까
the game a
그래서
lot,
좀
so much more fun
섭섭합니다.
and enjoyable.
네, 굉장히 재밌게 좀 해보도록 할게요. 일단은 오늘
Of course, let's have fun in this
자가라도
interview.
나오고,
네.
네, 굉장히 특이한 전략들이
We had
많이
lots of
나왔어요.
crazy
네,
strategies
상대방
from
입장에서
GLuck.
좀, 어떤 느낌이 들었나요? 아 이거 좀 부담스럽다.
How did you guys
아니면, 그냥
think at
쉽게
that moment?
이겼네, 뭐 이런.
Were you feeling any pressures at all?
그 캐릭이 부담스럽다기보다는
not that those
브락시스
heroes.
항전을 골랐을 때 약간 부담스러웠어요.
But when they chose
아무래도
Brats,
연습
is that we
좀
were
늦었고,
pretty flustered at the
거기서
moment.
이제 자가라까지 나오니까 자가라
And even
무조건 이기거든요.
When they
네.
picked Zagara,
그래서 그 부담스러웠는데
Zagara always win
그래도
lanes.
그냥 어떻게 하다 보면 이기지 않을까?
And we
그렇게
just
하다
went
보면
in thinking that if we do the
그리고
same, I think we're gonna win
이거를
anyhow.
한번 확인하고 넘어가야
And
될
we
것
had that kind of
같은데,
mindset going into game
일급
of
암살자를
Praxis.
네, 이거는 뭐 채팅창에서 반응이 좀 반반으로 갈리고 있었거든요.
아, 네.
나도 이거 찍었다, 이거 되게 좋다, 뭐 이런 얘기도 있고.
네.
저 사람 버프 안 찍었네, 이거 뭐 트롤이다, 정치 대상이다.
네.
Oh,
뭐 이런
you had the
얘기도
Master
있었는데.
Assassin here.
팀내에서 일단은 허락을 받은 겁니까?
Did you get the confirmation of the teammates, or did you just pick that talent?
아, 그
뭐
제가
손이 가는 대로 찍은 거예요?
어떻게 된 거냐면은
Well, let me
제가
explain
특성
here.
4를 찍었을 때 그 3번이 거대 암표적이고 4번이 1급 암살자예요.
네.
근데 1급 암살자를 쳐다보면서
Well, the other
이거
talent I
찍어보고
was trying to
싶다라고
pick at it,
생각을 하다가 모르고 진짜 찍었어요.
the bigger they are and the other ones,
약간
but I was
손이
trying to
가는
pick
대로
something
찍었네요.
else. I think that's what I heard.
네.
And then I ended up
보이는데
picking
반응이
Master Assassin
아,
for some reason.
굉장히 SD 선수가 예전에
I think
저희가
he's trying to say it was a
인터뷰해봤는데
misclick.
네.
굉장히 쿨한 그런 선수예요. 네, 바로 생각하는 대로 바로 내뱉고 그런 거 굉장히 좋습니다.
아, 감사합니다.
1급 암살자.
And I
그럼
see that has to
개인적으로
be.
일단 찍어봤잖아요.
I'm giving you a
네, 어떤 거
compliment,
같습니까?
a compliment
맞아요.
for
안 좋아요?
네.
네, 그냥
picking
찍은 거
all those.
후회하죠.
But
예,
is that a good
아주
talent? No, it
많이
is not.
후회해요.
Did not
그
pick
거대
that
암표도
talent.
찍었으면
It is not the
팀에서
best
그냥 이기고
talent.
그냥 끝냈겠죠.
거대 암표적 근데 안
If you
찍어도
picked
이겼잖아요.
The bigger they are, I think
그렇긴
that could have been
한데
a
더 일찍
big,
끝내지
better
않았나,
one.
뭐 이런
아,
생각은 안 드나요?
사실 4레벨 특성 하나 가지고 게임이 빨리 끝나고 늦게
But
끝나고
with
그런 거
just
없는
the
것
full
같아요.
level talent, the game doesn't really
뭐
end
어차피
quicker.
다
이겼어요.
이기는
But I think-
게임이었으니까 뭐 어떻게 특성을 가도
It was about the
사실
same
타이커스가
regardless of
어쨌든
which talent I
그렇게
picked at level
게임에
4.
그렇게 큰 영향 주는 애는 아니에요.
굉장히
I don't think
자신감이
Tychus
있는
was the
모습을
biggest
많이
tool of winning the
보여주시는데
game.
그 아까
or
처음에
affecting as much as the
MVP를
other
다른
heroes.
경기에서 좀 받았어야 됐다.
네.
이런 얘기도 했었는데 개인적으로 내가 정말 잘했다라고 생각하는 그 경기가 어떤
Is there a
경기인가요?
match that you think you
블라썸하고
did
했어요.
the best?
그 불 지역에서
예.
Against
일단
Blossom?
잡았던 그 공포.
공포 진짜 제가 보면서
When you had the
감탄했어요.
perfect horrify against the
이렇게
Illidan?
쓰네.
When I was even pressing that R button, I was thinking, oh
네,
man,
많이
I'm a
감탄했죠.
beast.
네.
I'm a beast
네.
at Gul'dan.
저희가 중계할 때도
네.
SD 선수의 굴단 얘기를 많이 하는데
Even when we were
공포 쓰는
casting
팁 같은 거
your
혹시
game,
있을까요?
was there a tip for Gul'dan? Your
그냥 잘
Gul'dan was one of the best.
그냥,
쓰는
그,
거니까.
그, 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 제일 중요한 애만 맞추면 돼요. 어쨌든.
All you have to do
근데
is hit who's the
거기서
most
이제 같이 들어가는
important
사람은 뭐라고 해야 돼?
against the
보너스.
biggest counter to your
만약에
team.
1, 2단 넣었는데 우소를 못 넣으면 우소가 선상의 보막 줄 수 있잖아요.
그러면 뭐 공포랑 천상의 보막 교환한 거니까.
Well, even if there's a Luther, you can trade the Horrify with the Divine Shield. So I think it's one of the biggest tools.
심플한 대답이 나왔습니다.
네.
일단은
Oh, that seems pretty easy for Gudan actually.
이스턴 클래시를 뭐 준비를
And let's
하고
move on.
있겠습니다만,
And you're going to Eastern Clash.
자신감 어느 정도 차이는지 좀 말씀해 줄 수 있나요?
How confident are you going to the Eastern
저희 팀
Clash?
애들이 인터뷰 나와서 다 아유 블랙 너무 잘해요. 뭐
Well, all the
Tempest
teams,
너무
all the
잘해요,
players are
이러는데
saying, "Oh, Tempest is really good.
지들이 제일
KSP is
잘해요.
really good."
말 들어보면은
But
정황은
after
자기가
like
제일
talking to them
잘하고.
individually,
솔직히 말은 안
they're
하는데
thinking they're the
속으로
best.
제일 잘한다고 생각해요. 다른 애랑 뭐 비교하면은 막 자존심 상해하고.
But really not losing the confidence, I think our team is also the best.
결과가 자꾸 안 좋더라고요.
But when we think in that way, the end result is not the best all the time.
그런 얘기라고 봐도 될까요?
충분히
Does that mean that you have a great chance of winning the Eastern Clash?
있을 만큼 다른 팀들도 너무
I think
잘해요.
certainly it's possible. Also for the other teams.
시원시원하게 말해주는 게 발리스틱스 다른 선수들과 인터뷰할 때
Of
이런
course,
느낌이
compared to
없었는데.
all the other members of
굉장히
Ballistix, you're not the same.
애들이 그렇게 재미없어요?
Was it really
재미없기보다는 뭔가 약간
seriously they're not
느릿느릿한
fun at all? It's not that they're really not fun. They're like super slow with the answers. It always like goes through their brain.
못하겠어요. 뭐 약간 이런 느낌이에요. 그래가지고 답답하더라고요.
SD
But when I was
선수가,
watching backstage, they're really
팀원들에게
slow. So
인터뷰
it was,
교육을
seemed really stuffy all the time.
3채만 안 쓰면 돼요.
3채요.
네.
All you have to do is just not use that
영상 나온 적 있잖아요.
old language that you
정화
had
때문이에요.
back in
정화
5.
때문에.
정화가
Did you see that
이상한 말투 만들어가지고
Crazy video
다 전파해서 그런 거고.
that they were no fun. Even the
너무
subtitles were
길어가지고.
no fun.
팬분들에게 한마디만 부탁드릴게요.
이번에
And the last question,
꽝이
shout out to your
생겼잖아요.
fans, please.
그러면서 되게 팬분들 되게 많이 와주시고 날도 추운데
We have lots of fans. It's still pretty cold. It snowed yesterday.
와주시고
But
진짜
thanks
너무
for coming
감사하고,
to the
너무 좋아요.
to the venue,
예, 진짜 감사하고 이스턴 클래시 꼭 좋은 성적 내도록 하겠습니다.
and we will
네,
try to have our
인터뷰
best
감사합니다.
result at
시원시원한
the Eastern
인터뷰를
Clash
해준 SD
as we go very
선수였고요.
soon.
저는 데스크로 돌아가도록
And
하겠습니다.
that was SDE with a very good interview.
Yeah.
Possibly the best one from Ballistix.